In this episode of Iowa Magazine, a former Miss Iowa finds her voice. A student group raises millions for the kids. Young lives are changed by exceptional medicine. And the University of Iowa says farewell to its 20th president.
A highlight of my time at Iowa has been my relationships with my peers and my professors. I don't think I expected to develop such important relationships when I was here.
So the accent actually has a little more decay from your attack?
My professors have been with me since day one. I've been working with my voice teacher for the past 5 years, and she has seen me grow as a person and develop as a singer. And so for us to be able to explore my voice together is a really special kind of relationship.
Even if you don't want to breathe, make a little, I think, expressive break between alle Blumen, alle Farben. Even if you don't want to breathe.
I will always seek their advice in the future if I encounter some issue or just want their advice on something. I entered school with a voice major, which I've kept, and I have an ethics and public policy degree. It's been the best supplement to my voice major because I'm learning more about the world, I'm thinking differently about the world, and ultimately as a singer and as a performer, I'm sharing stories with people. I'm translating to the audience, and if I can interpret a song differently, then that might speak to someone else that, you know, who doesn't love music. Maybe they'll really love a piece that I was able to interpret differently. And I really like to think that these two majors have made me a more holistic musician and artist. I'm actually going to graduate school at Yale University in the fall, which is a 2-year program. So I can take all the things I've learned here and really cultivated here at Iowa, bring those to Yale, and then go into a freelance opera singer career. I'll discover new goals and dreams along the way, but for now, it's going to be graduate school, getting my master's in music, and then just singing and doing what I love, which there's nothing better.
Hi, I'm Allison and I'm on location at the University of Iowa's Dance Marathon Big Event. Students get together for 24 hours straight and dance with no caffeine and no sitting down to help celebrate the children cancer survivors and to help remember the children who passed away throughout the year. Dance Marathon provides year-round support to youth cancer victims and their families being treated right here in Iowa City at the University of Iowa Children's Hospital. In addition to the big event, over 2,000 student leaders participate in other events to help raise money and awareness for the little warriors. So can you tell me a little bit about the Family Relations Committee?
We put on 9 different events throughout the year for the families. We have events at different museums and different amusement parks throughout the year where families come free of charge and they're able to just have a day on DM and have a good time that way. And then we also have our hospital program, which we have a team of about 14 people who are always up in the hospital. There's not a time in the week that the Dance Marathon volunteers aren't up there playing with the kiddos. And then here at the big event, we also have our family room, which we have over 1,000 Dance Marathon family members here, which is the most ever.
So can you tell me a little bit about your story?
We are the Schumacher family, and we're from Dubuque, and our son Brody was diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer in December of 2009. He lived 5 weeks after he started treatments. He ended up developing an infection in his bloodstream. He had a compromised immune system from other things, and the chemo attacked his system, and he just didn't have the defenses anymore. And he lived 5 weeks before passing away in January of 2010. Dance Marathon helped provide gift cards for gas, parking, for the cafeteria when we were here, helped with child life activities to help make hand molds to treasure, to have Leah and Brody's handprints to forever keep together. And ultimately, Dance Marathon helped pay for Brody's funeral. We just want to say thank you to all of those students who dedicate so much time to organize this event, and to all of those who are helping to fundraise and who who are being here today, all 24 hours, and working so hard to give back to some kids that they've never even met and may never even meet, just to help provide hope for everybody. So thank you.
What's your favorite thing about Dance Marathon?
My favorite thing, I used to like the dancing and the face painting, and I used to like everything at Dance Marathon.
Awesome. And now, here's a very serious question.
Okay.
Can you show me your best dance move?
Yes.
All right, go for it.
Okay, guys.
Nice, good job.
Thank you.
After a night of fun and dancing, Dance Marathon 2015 broke a record by raising over $2 million for the kids. Be sure to check out all the great things Dance Marathon is doing for the kids and get involved. Until next time, I'm Allison. Coming up, 2 stories of young lives that were changed by exceptional treatment at one of the nation's best children's hospitals.
Hi. Dad's got your room set up. He put a lot of toys in there for you. I don't know what to call you. You came before Mom and Dad couldn't even think of a name. I like Ellie. Can I call you Ellie?
With one of the nation's best survival rates for premature infants, the questions we're asking today will help us deliver even better answers tomorrow. UI Children's Hospital, changing medicine, changing kids' lives.
It might be scary, but I'll try getting through it.
These are children who have scoliosis at a very early age, and it affects their lung growth. If their spine is shortened because of scoliosis or their chest wall is deformed, their lungs don't reach full development, and these are the type of children who can die early because of scoliosis.
I was first introduced to the University of Iowa Children's Hospital when Will was a newborn. At about 9 months old, they discovered a lump on his back and figured out that he had scoliosis. Will started seeing Dr. Weinstein, and it was about at the age of 5 that they determined that the curve was too big and that they had to do something or it would impede on his lungs. So he had growing rods implanted at the age of 5.
So formally, when other rods were developed, we would operate on the children, and they would have to come back to the operating room every 6 months to have another operation so that we could actually lengthen the rods to keep up with their growth. It becomes very traumatic for the children to come to the hospital every 6 months, have another operation. The development of the magic rods has allowed now for children to have them implanted, and once they're implanted, the lengthenings could be done in the outpatient clinic without them having to come back to surgery. So this gives the children the opportunity to have an initial procedure and then have the lengthening which keeps up with growth done in the outpatient clinic. And the opportunity to save a child 6 to 9 operations at this time of their life is pretty phenomenal, and we're glad we can make this technology available to children here in Iowa.
These magic rods will save Will from several surgeries. It's going to be amazing. I wasn't quite sure how we or he would handle the rest of these surgeries every 6 months until we get to that point of the permanent rods. I'm very thankful. I just hope that all goes well.
This is the magic rod, and what will happen was when Will comes back to clinic, he'll have 2 of these, and with an externally applied device, we'll spin the magnet, which then allows the rod to grow. And now is the more difficult part, and that's contouring the rod to exactly the way it is for Will. Okay, this should do it. can let mom and dad know things are okay. What's next for Will is that he'll stay a couple days in the hospital just to give his wound a chance to heal. He'll use a brace for a couple of months just to protect the wound and let this new hardware scar in. Then in about 3 months we'll have him back in an outpatient setting and we'll do the lengthening with the magnet. And then continue that probably 3 or 4 times a year just as an outpatient until he's around 12 years of age if we can, and at 12 or 13 we'll replace these rods with permanent rods which he'll then have the rest of his life. And we look forward to good outcome for Will. Everything went perfect. It couldn't have gone better, and so we actually lengthened them more first. So before we put the magic rods in, we lengthened Will as much as he could tolerate, and then once they're out to length, then we swap them out, holding that length. But everything went really well, no problems at all. So we'll get you downstairs, and then I'll see you later this afternoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Dr. Weinstein, his bedside manner is great. Will enjoys going down to see him all the time, which makes it a lot better and easier on us.
He's a good one. He's the best one in the world.
My hope and future for Will is that he stays healthy, and I know a big thing for him is he loves sports. With like football and wrestling, he understands that he won't be able to play those sports, but he has a love and passion for basketball and baseball and other different kinds of sports.
I don't think there's anything I could say great enough to show my gratitude. In every department, all the staff that we've come across, one is just as great as the next. I'm more than thankful for everything that they've done for our family. We wouldn't have Will here with us today if it wasn't for them.
Wesley was a normal, healthy 3-month-old, smiley and happy and easygoing.
He had a cough, so we decided to make an appointment just to have it checked out. We thought late November, it's cold and flu season. We're probably just going in to have him tell us he's got a little bit of a cold. So the ambulance crew arrived and they said it was pretty serious and that we needed to get into the room because they were doing everything they could, but Wesley didn't have a heartbeat. And the doctor had said, just point blank, worst case scenario, if he needs a heart transplant, Iowa City is the only place that does that. It was a major shock to us, I think, to go so quickly spiraling out of control.
When we arrived at the hospital in Iowa City, at the Children's Hospital, Wesley had gone into cardiac arrest. He wasn't breathing, he had no pulse. They were doing everything they could, but they just didn't know what was going to happen.
It was clear that if we didn't do something quickly, it's possible that his situation would get much worse.
If we hadn't gotten on ECMO, he probably wouldn't have made it much longer. He was on ECMO for 9 days total.
He met and exceeded everybody's expectations. It was just unbelievable. I think most doctors would agree it was a miracle. I don't think anybody expected it. They included us in every decision. They made sure that we were well informed of what was going on every day. They took the time.
Answered all of our questions, even if it was the same one every day.
I don't plan on restricting him on any activities. He can do whatever he wants to do. My guess is he will do whatever he wants to do.
I don't think you'd know it if you looked at him today.
You can't tell that he's been sick at all. He's healthy and happy.
In order to do what we can for children like Wesley, collaboration is essential. With the right team, we can do incredible things. Had we not had that team there, it's possible that Wesley wouldn't be here today.
I think we get a lot of the Our life must be our new normal, and I think for us, this is normal. You just do what you have to do.
This new normal's pretty good, I'd say.
Coming up, the University of Iowa says farewell to its 20th president, Sally Mason.
Go forward. Go reveal. Express. Explain. Go propel. Ignite. Invent. Imagine. Go create. Believe. Inspire. Go higher. Go faster. Go farther. Go Hawks.
When I close my eyes, I don't see buildings, I see the people who've been going through this university over time. That's why I say people, not structures, make great universities. The University of Iowa has been a leader in higher education for over 160 years. What makes Iowa unique, I've always said we're the smallest university in the Big Ten, the smallest state university, but we are perhaps the most cohesive. And I do not think of the river as dividing us, I think of it as just something we have running through the middle of us. So I feel we are all integrated, and I think that's unique.
The institution has always been an outstanding comprehensive research university. Clearly, continued strength in the health sciences. You know, one of the few campuses in the whole country where you have 5 health science campuses working closely together, working closely with the university hospitals. We also look at the arts. This campus has always been recognized as a leader in the country when it comes to the arts. And then just, I think overall, the sort of the comprehensive nature of this institution.
It has a very interesting, very exceptional history of all kinds of very strong progressive impulses, you know, that are still reflected in. I really can't imagine my own career without having come here and lived here and thought about the place.
The board was looking for someone who would be a change agent, who would challenge the institution and have it reach even higher levels. That was certainly a substantial part of what we felt President Mason offered.
We were really launching some major initiatives in student success, and I know President Mason, that was an area that was really high on her list of priorities.
Sally Mason's very committed to undergraduate education. She's a product of public universities in America, public research universities, and I think that would have been her priority just as it turned out to be.
President Mason made it a major part of her presidency here to make this campus known for being a sustainable campus in a lot of ways.
No one could have come to expect what we experienced in 2008, and I can still recall some of my early recollections of President Mason. We're down at the Iowa Memorial Union, sandbagging shoulder to shoulder with students and community members. Everyone gave up their job and took on new jobs. We lost 1/6 of our campus. 24% of our general assignment classrooms were closed. Our power plant was dark.
We will be open this fall. Our fall semester will go on as we had planned.
Over the next 10 days, this campus and a whole nother crew of volunteers coming to campus to help clean allowed us to restart the summer classes and then make a mad dash for what would become the largest number of students on our campus in the history of the university that August.
You know, as you go and walk through the current Studio Art building, while it's a converted box store, it does provide incredible opportunities for people to interact with one another, to be able to see what other artists are doing. And I think that's been a real positive outcome.
It did change everything. How we develop along the river has changed, how we've protected our buildings along the river has changed, but it has also, through all this difficulty, allowed us to re-envision this campus.
People were bound together in a way, collectively, that we could do what we couldn't have done before as individuals. The visual arts, music, theater, all the arts that were hardest hit. To see that opportunity capitalized on with facilities that are worthy of our students and our faculty is an extraordinary accomplishment.
There are going to be opportunities here that are available in very few, if any, other places. The long-term effect of this misfortune, I think, is going to be very positive.
Now, the flood didn't rob the university from leadership in other aspects. We see the growth and the development of the Children's Hospital, coordinating services all in one place, focused on children and their families.
It's already ranked among the best children's hospital in the country without having a children's hospital. This is really the unique place where you have all specialty of pediatrics in one place, 24/7. It's really a unique resource for the people in the state.
There are many, many different dimensions to what philanthropy can do for an institution, and President Mason has done an outstanding job of communicating that value. It touches all corners of this institution, and I think that's an important legacy as we look forward to the success of the University of Iowa. If you look at what we've accomplished in the past years, it's really been amazing. Retention of students, graduation rates, opportunities for students to graduate early, first-year seminars, living learning communities. We've also listened to students. We've tried to learn what do they want in terms of their learning environment, the types of programs, the types of facilities. It takes a lot of people, a lot of work to make these things happen, but at the end of the day, it takes a leader at the top to say that this is an important priority for this institution.
Since she's been here at the university, she has, been all about providing high quality education for students at a low cost.
As someone who did not come from a privileged background herself, she really understands the challenges and the struggles that are faced by people who come from underprivileged or under-resourced backgrounds.
I draw a direct line between education and the economy. I think the University of Iowa is preparing our students to be ready for that next generation of entrance into the workplace, and I think we have a legacy, and in large part due to Dr. Mason, that will continue far beyond her years here.
One thing I've always admired for her is her courage, and at the same time her ability to have confidence in the people that work with her. And I think we are a lot better overall as a university than we were when she came. There's no question about that.
She's a really inspirational person. I'm really sad to see her go, but she's definitely made a huge impact at Iowa and will continue to do so even after she's gone.
Sally Mason has been a phenomenal leader during a period of transformative change for the Big Ten, and I think at Iowa as well.
I mean, you only have to spend a few minutes here on campus to see all of the construction and all of the cranes and just know that we're clearly heading in the right direction. And what I've seen is really this amazing integration of community and campus.
I think Sally has worked as a team with people in order to help run the university and to continue progressing forward.
Sally has had the ability to see the big picture, to make decisions for the long run and for what is best in the overall. Sometimes those decisions are difficult, but the opportunity was there. Iowa, the University of Iowa, is focused for a great future.
Well, it's not always been easy. She has weathered all the storms out here, so to speak, and moved the university forward on a lot of fronts.
When you come back, it will not look the same, but it will feel the same. Our future is our never-ending frontier, and we're always moving forward.